Hi everyone, today we are going to design this crypto AI portfolio landing page. You can see right here we have got a strong headline, glowing effects, and a bold call to action that gives it that futuristic vibe. I will show you step by step how to build it, so let's get started. Okay guys, let's start designing now. Before that, if you want to do follow along with me, you can copy these hex code colors. And to start designing, we need to press F to draw a frame. So I'm going to press F on my keyboard. It will bring us these ready-made frames. We are going to choose desktop frame as usual. And next thing we need to do is we need to give it background. So I'm going to give it dark purple background, this top one. Okay. All right, our background is ready. So what we need to do next is we need to design nav bar. Okay, our background is ready. Next thing we need to do is we need to design nav bar first. But before that, we need to create this background. As you can see, this background have vector grid, rays, and some dust particles. And after creating this background, we will create navbar on top of that. It will be easier for us. So to start designing this background, we need vector grid. I already have it there, as you can see. And if you wonder where you can get this one, then you don't need to worry. I will leave the link in description for this design file, and this design file will have this vector grid. So you can download this design file in the link in the description. So let's start making this background by copying this vector grid, and I will place this vector grid inside this main frame. So I am going to press Ctrl V. Our vector grid is inside our main frame, and I will lock it so it doesn't interfere with our design. And as you can see, we have a grid inside our design. Next thing we need to do is we need to draw a circle. I'm going to press O on my keyboard, then I am going to hold shift key, and I will draw a circle. I think this size is okay. This is what I want. And next thing we need to do is I will select both of them, and then I will convert them into mask. Okay, and let's see what happened. Okay, we see our circle there with some grid, but we want to make a smooth effect. Okay, so to do that, what we need to do is I will select our circle, then we need to go to effects section, then I will choose layer blur, and I will choose value of 150. And as you can see, our grid is looking smooth now, and we need to turn this into a group. We will select both circle and vector grid, and I will press Ctrl G. Okay, our grid is ready. Next thing we need to do is we need to design rays. To do that, I am going to press P on my keyboard to use pen tool. I just pressed P. Then I will start from any point. Let's say this point. Then I will choose this point, and we need to make another point, and another point. Okay, our shape is ready. Then I am going to press enter. Okay, as you can see, our shape is ready. Then we need to give it a fill. I'm going to press this plus icon. Then I am going to give it color, this color basically. Okay, what we need to do next is we need to turn it into gradient. Okay, top value will be same as the bottom one, and the bottom stop will have 0% opacity. And we also need to give it a blending effect, so we need to give it plus lighter. And next thing we need to do is we need to give it layer blur. So layer blur is going to be 21, not too much. We only need small value. Okay. So we need to duplicate this 3 times. I'm going to press Ctrl D 2 times. So we will have our 3 rays. Then next we need to adjust them. We need to adjust their angle. So I'm going to adjust it. Okay, I think our rays are ready. Let's see if it does look like this. Is it does. And next thing we need to do is we need to create a light effect. How can we do that? First of all, let's turn them into a group. I'm going to select all of the rays. Then I am going to press Ctrl G. Our light rays are turn them into a group. Then I am going to press lock so it doesn't interfere with our design. So to create light effect on top of these rays, I am going to press O on my keyboard, and then I am going to make a circle. Okay, like this. We need this big. Okay, then I am going to change its angle, and I'm going to place it there. And then we need to give it a fill of this same color. Okay, and we need to use 50% opacity, and we need to give it layer blur effect of 250. Okay, let's see if it does look like this. Yeah, it does, but we need to change its angle a little bit there. Yeah. Okay, our background is ready. Okay, I think circle is outside of our frame. Let me put it back inside, and let's select all of them, like this circle and these rays. Let me show you. I have selected both of them. Then I am going to turn them into into group by pressing Ctrl G. Okay, then I am going to lock them so it doesn't interfere once we start designing our nav bar. Okay, so to start with the nav bar, one thing I forgot, we need to make dust particles there. So how can we do that? To start making dust particles, we need to draw a circle, small circle. So I'm going to press shift key. First of all, I pressed O for circle, then I'm going to press shift key. Then we need to make a circle, this small one, and we need to change dimensions, 2 pixel width and 2 pixel height. Okay, and next thing we need to do is we need to go to effects and go to layer blur and give it a value of 2. Okay, and then we will duplicate. Oh, sorry, I need to remove stroke. We need to duplicate it multiple times. I'm going to hold alt key, and let's duplicate this one. Okay, our particles are ready, but any particles which are outside of our rays, we need to decrease their opacity so it does look like natural. So I'm going to select any particles which are outside of our rays, and then we will reduce their opacity. So let's hold shift key, and I will select these circles. Okay, I'm going to change their opacity to 50%. Okay, our particles are also ready. It does look natural now. I hope you also think like me. So, and we both agree on this one. I think we need to uh, we need to change grid little bit, grid background little bit. So let's unlock this one, and this one was our mask. Let's let me lock this one so it doesn't interfere with our design. So let's change its place. Yeah, there. Okay, it does look good now. So next thing we will do is we need to create this nav bar. Okay, so let's start making our nav bar. So first of all, let's select all of these dust particles and convert them into a group. Control G and lock them as well. Okay, we need to lock everything so our background does not interfere with our while we are designing. This is the practice I use, and if you are comfortable not locking them, you can leave them as it is. Okay, we will start with our logo, then nav links, then we will make CTA links. Like first logo, nav links, and then CTA link. I'm going to press T on my keyboard, and then I am going to write the name of logo, which is Nexa. I think it is Nexa. Let me see. It is just a dummy name, Nexo. You can choose any name when you are designing for your portfolio. Then you have liberty to choose very creative names. Okay, so we need to we are going to use font family of Geest. I hope it is Geest or Geest. I really don't know. But we are going to use this font family, and then we are going to give it the font size of 20, and it will be semi bold, I think. Maybe medium. Let's use medium now. Then we will compare with the original design and then we can change it. Okay, our logo is ready. And next thing we need to do, we need to have a shape there, a logo shape. So I use a plugin to get these kind of shapes. I use quick fill plugin. All you can also use this one and you can save it. And this one I use for logos and dummy logos especially. So you need to go to assets, then you need to go to brand logos. There you can get real logos and placeholder logos. Placeholder logos are fake logos of companies that you can use in your design. Okay, we are in fake ones. So I am going to use which one was that one? I think, yeah, this one I used. We need to change size to 24 by 24. I'm going to press K on my keyboard. Okay, 24 by 24. And I think logo is outside of our main frame. I need to put it back inside, and then I will select both of them and turn them into auto layout, and they will have a gap of 8 pixels. Okay, next thing we need to do is we need to create nav links. I'm going to press T on my keyboard and I'm going to write nav links. So we have home. Let's change its font size. Font size is going to be 16, and I think it will be regular. Okay, and yeah, let's duplicate it multiple times to create more nav links. Okay, let's name them home features. Okay, this one was pricing. So when you are creating your nav links, always consider putting your important nav links first, then less important next to important ones. This is how you should place them. So next will be blogs, I think. and last one is contact. Yes, our nav link are ready, and I'm going to select all of them, and then I am going to press Shift A to turn them into auto layout. They will have gap of 32, and I hope they all have same font family. Okay, and then we need to create CTA buttons, so let's do that. All right, next thing we need to do is we need to create CTA button, this one, as you can see. So let's do that. First of all, what we need to do is I will create text first by clicking T on my keyboard. Then I will write try for free. Okay, and font size will be 16, and it will be semi bold. Okay, and next what we need to do is we need to turn it into auto layout. Okay, it is auto layout now, and top and bottom padding will be 6, sorry, and horizontally it will be 16 pixel. Okay, and we need to give it 100 corner radius, so it will be fully rounded. And next thing we need to do is we need to give it a fill. Okay, and we will choose this color. Okay, and we need to add another fill. Let me zoom in so you can see it better. We will need to add another fill, and it will be radial gradient. Okay, and we will choose white color, and we need to add another stop. Okay, and we need to adjust them so it does look good. I think something like this, something like this. Just give it will, yeah, it does look good. And next thing we need to do is we need to give it a stroke. We will press this plus icon, then we will choose again radial gradient, and color is going to be white as well here. Okay, and the bottom stop will be 10% opacity, and it will be like that. I think colors are, we need to reverse it, and it does look okay now. So let's see if it does look like our previous button. Let me see. Yeah, it does look like, does look like it. Okay guys, our nav bar is ready. Next thing we need to do is we need to design header, then subheading, then CTA buttons. And we will start it by pressing T on our keyboard, and I'm going to write smarter. I hope my spellings are good. Crypto, C should be capital. Crypto tracking. Then we are moving to next line, which is going to be powered by advanced AI. Okay, our text is ready. Now let's give it font size, which is going to be 64, and semi bold. We don't need semi bold, we need medium. Okay, and line height is going to be 76, and letter spacing is going to be -2%. Oh, 76%. No, we don't need percentage, we need number there. So 76. Yeah. Okay, our heading is ready. Okay, so let's color it. So we need to change fill. We are going to use this color, and we need to add another fill, which is going to be gradient, linear gradient, and we are going to use this color. Okay, and we need 3 stops, and this one is going to be this color, and we need to copy this one and replace it there, as you can see. and let's change the position of gradient. Another thing we need to do is we need to change opacity of linear gradient, which is going to be 100%, I think. And let's change the position of gradient so it looks visible and accessible, which is very important in design. Your text should be able to readable. What a sentence. Okay, our text is ready. Let's see if it is similar to our one. Let me check for once. The linear gradient. Yeah. Okay, our text is ready. Next thing we need to do is we need to create subtext, and I am just going to copy this one because I always forget words and spelling, so I'm just going to copy this one to save time. So let's place it inside our frame, Control V, and we have our subheading there, and let's create our CTA buttons. I'm going to copy this one, duplicate this one, and use it here. And our button, these two buttons are going to be same, and we need another CTA button. Let's duplicate this one by pressing Control D. So what we need to do here is we just need to remove the fill, and I'm going to do that. So just by removing the fill, we have our text ready. So here we need to change it to explore products. I hope spellings are wording is okay. Let me see. Yeah, it is okay. So another thing we need to add is adding an icon there. So you know what plugin I use always. I hope you have watched my previous videos. I always use Iconify for quick icons. It's loading. It is loaded now. So we need to write arrow on the search bar, and we will get our icon. I think we can choose this one. Looks fine, and I'm going to import it. And let's place it there, and we need to change color from black to white. Okay, I think our CTA buttons are ready. Okay, so let's align all of them. First of all, we need to align our nav bar. Let's select all of them by holding Shift key. Then to turn it into auto layout, I am going to press Shift A, and let's change gap to auto, and let's place it, align it in the middle of our hero section. And next thing we need to align is header, subheader, and CTA. Let's first start with these CTA buttons and convert them into auto layout by pressing Shift A. Okay, and I think gap will be 24 pixel. Let's place them there. Then let's select all of them and turn them into auto layout by pressing Shift A. Okay, and let's align them in center, and they will have gap of 40. I think they will have gap of 40. Let me see what gap they have. They have gap of 32, so we will also use 32 gap. Yes. Okay, our text is ready. Let's align it in the middle. So next thing we need to create is we need to create this dashboard. So I am not going to create this whole dashboard, otherwise it's going to take very long time. I'm just going to use an image there, a placeholder image, and then we will design, add these lights and shadows and everything. Okay, so let's start now. Okay, let's start designing our dashboard there. We are going to use lights and shadows and dust particles. It is going to be interesting, and I am excited to do that. So I hope you are watching this video and you are also enjoying it. So before that, I see this text is not looking nice because if light is reflecting on the text, it should be more shiny there, but it is not enough shiny. So maybe we need to change some gradient effect there and make it a little bit like that. Yeah, now it is justifying the light coming from the top. I hope it looks good now. So next thing we need to do is I am going to place dashboard image there, and you can use any dashboard. And if you are unable to find a dashboard image, and then you can download this design from the link in the description. Okay, so I am going to place my dashboard, ready-made dashboard. Okay, so I'm going to press Ctrl X and place it inside this frame. Ctrl V, and we have our dashboard inside this frame. And you should round it 20 pixel corner radius, as you can see here. And I'm going to align it in center. Next thing we need to do is we need to add a border, a stroke. You can call it border or stroke, both are fine. So I'm going to press this plus icon. Okay, and we need to use gradient, radial gradient. Okay, and I am going to use this color, this top one. So let's choose this one. For both ones, I am going to choose same color. Let's choose same one. Okay, I think bottom will be 0, and let's see what happened there. Let's select this one, and we need to move it on the top. Okay, and let me make it bigger so you can see properly. Something like this is fine. And next thing we need to do is we need to increase the weight to 6 pixel. Okay, and it should be outside is okay. And another thing I forgot is I think the bottom stop should be 10%, so we see border in whole of our dashboard. Okay, next thing we need to do is let me move it little bit down. Okay, I am holding down arrow key on my keyboard to do that. Next thing we need to do is we need to have this shiny effect. So how can we do that? It's very easy. Just see me doing it, and if you are following along with me, you can also do it very easily. So first of all, we need to change opacity, background opacity of this dashboard. I am going to make it 12%. Okay, so our shiny gradients can pop out from the behind of our dashboard. So next thing we need to do is we need to draw a circle. So I am going to do that. I am going to press O on my keyboard, and I am going to draw a circle like this. Okay, then we need to change shape in this circle. As we can see, our design dashboard is interfering with our design, so let's lock this layer so it doesn't interfere with our design. So we need to change shape of this circle. How can we do that? We need to press enter on our keyboard while selecting this circle. So next thing we need to do is we will select this point, and we need to change its angle 90°. And again with this point, I will change this angle to 90°, and we need to move this point like it will become a straight line. So our shape is ready. We need 3 shapes like these ones. Okay, so first of all, we need to give it blur effect. We are going to let me fill color first. We are going to choose this color again, and we will go to effects. I will choose layer blur, and we need to give it value of 140. Okay, and next thing we need to do is we need to give it blending effect of plus lighter, and its opacity is going to be 50%. Okay, we need to have another shape like this, so I'm going to duplicate this one by pressing Ctrl D. Okay, so let's move this one a little bit down. Okay, yeah, there. So our two shapes are there. We need to add another one. Okay, so I'm going to press Ctrl D again. Okay, but we need this shape little bit small, so I'm going to reduce its size, and I'm going to move it above. Okay, for this one I am going to remove blending mode, and layer blur is going to be 40 pixels. Okay, and it's going to be 100%. Let's move it. Oh, I'm going to select our shape. Let's move it a little bit above, and let's move our these circles down a little bit down. Okay, and where is our bottom one? I think this. Let's see our original design if it does look similar. Yeah, a little bit similar. I think we need to increase the width of these shapes, so let's do that. You can simply drag them further. Okay, so let's do with other one as well, and I think this is fine, and small one will also be like that. Yeah, so let's select all of them and move them in the center. Okay, let's see now if it does look similar. I think it does look similar. Yeah, our shape design is ready. So next thing we need to do is we need to have some dust particles there. We are going to use same technique. I am going to, first of all, let's select all of these shapes and turn them into auto layout. Oh, not auto layer, turn them into group. I'm going to press Ctrl G, and they will be in group form. And then I'm going to lock this layer again. So next thing we need to do is I'm going to make dust particles by pressing O on my keyboard. Then I am going to draw a small circle, and we need to give it width of 2 pixels and height of 2 pixels. Okay, and we need to give it effect of layer blur, and value is going to be 2. Okay, and now we need to duplicate these little circles. I'm going to hold Alt key, and you can simply duplicate them 6 to 7 times is fine. We don't need too much these dust particles. I think that amount is fine. So any small dot circles which are going beyond our this light, we need to reduce their opacity so it looks natural. So I'm going to hold Shift key and select some of these circles, and I think this one also can be selected. Let me zoom in so I can select it. Yeah, and this one as well. So let's give it opacity of 50%. Okay, so let's see now how does it look. Yeah, it does look fine, but I think we need to move dashboard a little bit down because there is very less space there. Or maybe we can simply move our text above a little bit so it will give it more space there. Okay, our design is ready. Okay, this design looks fine to me, but if you want to leave it as it is, you can do that. But if you want to add more shiny texture like this one, Okay, you can do that by adding another gradient layer blur. And before that, let's select all of these dust particles on our layer panel. Then we need to turn them into auto, not auto layout, into group control G. Okay, and let's lock it as well. So to create that shiny effect, what we need to do is we need to create to draw a big circle. I have pressed O on my keyboard, then I am holding shift key on my keyboard as well. Then we need to draw I think it is interfering with our design. Let's do that again. I am going to press O and then shift, and let's draw a big circle like this. Yeah, and let's move this circle under all the layers that we have on the layer panel. Let's see. Okay, and let's move it even down there. Let's move it there. And yeah, I think this is our background. We don't need to move circle behind that, and we need to change its color to this one, I think so. And then we need to go to effects, and we need to go to layer blur, and we need to give it value of 500. And I think we need to change opacity to 50%. Let's see if it does look like this. And I think we need to use this color instead. Yeah, I'm going to copy color from this design, this hex code color, and I am going to place it inside this one. Yeah, now we also have this more extra shiny effect in our design. Okay, forgot to tell you one thing, that is, instead of using 50% opacity, we need to use 100% opacity. Okay, then it will look like our original design. Okay, so I forgot to tell you that one. So I will wrap up our video here. So see you in that next tutorial.